Hey everybody, how are you doing today? Welcome to my channel. This is Jesse. Have you ever wondered how to grow a new lemon tree from a lemon tree that you already know that exists and you like the lemons you get from it? Well, today I'm going to show you. We are going to take these tiny little cuttings off of this lemon tree. Mind you, I've already disinfected my pruning shears with alcohol. I'm going to take the leaves off of this guy. Lower leaves especially. These two I'm just going to leave a little piece. Little leaflet. If you've seen any of my videos, I've talked about clear and translucent solo cups. What we're going to do with the solo cup is we are going to go ahead and cut out drainage holes in the bottom. And the purpose of the drainage hole is not to be pretty, but the purpose is to allow for drainage, okay? So I've got drainage holes throughout the bottom, and they're gonna work, okay? And what I'm gonna use as a planting medium is cocoa coir. %100% cocoa coir. Okay. This cutting is right at a node, which is perfect. I'm just going to scrape it up a little bit. Because it's so thin, I don't want to hurt it. And I'm going to scrape this little guy up too. Tiny, tiny little guy. But I can make them both root. It's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it. So what I'm going to do is add some water, just a little bit of water, to this medium. And as I mentioned, if you've seen my previous videos, you would know that when doing cuttings, I like to use a transparent, semi-transparent, translucent cup with an opaque cup. The reason I do this is because you can check on your root growth and development without pulling the plant or disturbing the soil. You just lift up and you can see through. Okay? Now you can use a pencil, a straw, your finger, but you're going to make a little hole. And I'm making 2 holes on the opposite sides of this cup for my 2 cuttings. And these cuttings are so small, you don't want to go too deep. But this little tiny little cutting, I'm going to put some rooting hormone on it. And I just stuck it in right there. I'm pressing to make sure it's compacted. This one I'm going to scrape just a little bit more off. And I'm doing the same thing with this rooting hormone. This is, again, lemons by Cuttings. And these are little tiny things. The optimal size that you want is the size of a pencil, a diameter of a number 2 pencil, the size of a regular drinking straw that you get at a fast food restaurant in America. That's the optimal size that you'd want to propagate by cuttings. But you can propagate something even this small by cuttings. If I really needed to, I could propagate a leaf by cutting. But of course, I don't need to do that. Next thing I like to use are these food storage bags. They're gallon size. Doesn't matter the brand, but I like these ones because they're inexpensive. I get these guys from one of the dollar stores nearby here. I also like to use painter's tape. You don't have to use painter's tape, but I'm just using painter's tape. What I do is I get it started. And if you were wondering, this is a rooting hormone. It doesn't matter the brand, but this is the one I have. But back to the baggie. So we've got the bag, and this is a gallon size bag, so it's pretty big. It's much bigger than the cup. And using the tape, I attach one side of the bag. Then I'm going to get a little bit more tape. And double the bag around. And tape it together. Now, what if you say, but I don't have any tape? What if you say, I don't have any tape? I sure don't have painter's tape. You can use masking tape. You can use duct tape. Scotch tape. It really doesn't matter. You can even use electrical tape if you want. You can go on with a rubber band, zip ties, tie wraps. But what I like about these is you can label them. Well, what I like about tape, that is that you can label the tape easily. Which is what I just did. I went on and labeled the type of lemon that I'm using. I know you like lemons. and I put it in that cup. Now the main reason I put it in this opaque cup is so that light doesn't get down there in the roots. But because I'm doing multiple cuttings, I can just go ahead and put them together inside of a larger opaque bin, which simulates being underground. And when time comes for me to check the roots, all I have to do is lift up and check the roots. Additionally, I just watered from above. You're going to water when you have it in a pan, or if you have it in the cup, you're going to water from below. There's going to be no more watering from above until the plants are through. And what's going to happen is you have a little mini greenhouse for each one of your cuttings. Now, in this one I have 2 cuttings, and this one I have 4 cuttings. This one I have 1 cutting. It doesn't really matter. But for each cup, you've created your own little greenhouse. I hope you've enjoyed this video on how to take lemon cuttings and propagate them in a plastic cup. It's so easy. It's very simple. I'll go ahead and make an update to this video once we see the roots. Thank you.